How's it, guys? This is Ravi from the Mzansi Comic Club. Here with you, here to chat with you about a little development in the DCEU. I'm actually in the middle of a workshop at the moment. We're on our lunch break, if that is of interest to you. But I think the DCEU is up to something big, and it sounds like a really bogus, significant statement to make in light of the many box office bombs, as it were. But they just cancelled Batgirl, and that for me sounds. Some people could say it's a sign of trouble. I think it's a sign of bigger and better things to come. I think the fact that they shelved a movie that was near completion with, I would say, a very decent cast. I mean, any cast with Michael Keaton in it is always going to be brilliant, right? But I think this is going to be something huge because effectively that movie would have taken effect in the Burton verse, in a manner of speaking, if Michael Keaton's character was of Michael Keaton's reprisal of Batman would have effectively taken its place in the same universe, in a manner of speaking. I think that's a good thing. The Batgirl movie came straight out of left field, right? It wasn't something that any of the fans really asked for. I'm sure you're going to get some diehard Batgirl fans, Barbara Gordon fans that will say otherwise. But the DCU is a complete failure. Perhaps maybe that's a bit of a harsh statement to make. The shining lights from the DCU thus far have been Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman. When I say Wonder Woman, sorry, just let me clarify. Wonder Woman, the first movie back in 2016, not that horse crap that was released to the public in indicative or entitled Wonder Woman 87. Sorry, 84. What am I saying? WW 84. There we go. Lost my train of thought there. But anyways, they shelved a movie that was near completion, which is very unlike Warner Brothers to do. Normally, they just follow through with it and, hope it sticks to the walls, as it were. But this is really a movie and no one really asked for. I could have seen the merit of having a Batgirl-like character on Harley Quinn's solo movie. The Emancipation of Harley Quinn, yada, yada, yada. Again, another movie not many people asked for. Harley Quinn without the Joker, it's basically Batgirl without Batman. You need a character that's going to carry a lot of weight. And unfortunately, the DCU was they probably saw the horizon and they realized, you know what, we're going to burn our hands here with this one. And rather let's shelve and park the Batgirl concept of movie, or rather redo it. Take a loss, take a hit, take a knock financially on this particular movie, and rather consider other options for the character in some of the movies that are coming up. I think they're going to heavily bank on Arthur Curry's... Arthur Curry. Jason Momoa's Aquaman 2... The sequel, at least. I think it's and I forgot the rest of the title of the movie. And they're also going to bank on Black Adam. I think Dwayne Johnson is going to be a huge bankroller for Warner Brothers as a DC character. And there's a lot of background chatter about a potential rivalry or potential feud with Henry Cavill's Superman. So I think those two characters are likely going to interconnect at some point. In what way, shape, or capacity, or what type of movie, I don't know. I think the DCEU took a massive knock. Maybe they experienced a bit of a recovery with the Snyderverse, but I think I've already said this for some time, even when Zack Snyder's on the helm, even when they had... that shocker of a Justice League movie back in 2017. I've been saying this for a while. The DCEU needs to undergo a complete overhaul. It's effectively been 10 years, close to 10 years, since our last Superman movie. So, what's happened with that? We've got a solo Batman series helmed by Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, which is brilliant. And I think that's going to go obviously in a different direction, a much more darker, sinister version of the Dark Knight. Very similar to the Christopher Nolan series, except I would say the villains are a little bit more larger than life in this particular environment. I don't know. I'm of the view I'd love to see Ben Affleck reprise his role as Batman. I know he's going to do it now with this the latest Flash movie, or the solo Flash movie with Barry Allen. I think we're going to be in for some surprises there. I think if you had to ask me what the biggest turning points would be for the DCU, because let's take the premise that the DCU is an abysmal failure. Let's look at the complete extreme of it, where Wonder Woman was the travesty. The Suicide Squad was terrible. Apparently, some people feel that the Suicide Squad is a little bit better than Suicide Squad back in 2016, 2017. But it's like comparing, oranges with nachos. I mean, what's really... It's not really that much of a significant difference between those two fruit types. But anyways, be that as it may, let's go a little bit away from agriculture. I personally think the DCU is headed for bigger and better things. I think it's going to undergo a complete overhaul, whether we like it or not. Black Adam, I think, is going to play a significant role in the turning point. It's going to be one of the more profitable box office successes. I think Aquaman 2 is definitely going to do the same. Shazam 2, I've got mixed views about Shazam 2. I mean, obviously you can only tell a trailer. You can't really tell a movie by the trailer itself. Sometimes it may very well surprise you. I'm not that confident Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren being the core focal villains in that environment. So that's going to be quite interesting. But I mean, again, I think Shazam is that comedic undertone that the DCU has been looking for a while, and we managed to achieve that with Shazam. So that's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a turning point. And yeah, I really think the Black Adam is going to be a huge turning point, because it's going to catalyze the re-involvement of Henry Cavill's Superman. I think it was always on the cards. And there's just so much to be achieved with the DCEU. I think there's plenty of big things coming up as well. Wonder Woman didn't really give much of an indication that there's going to be a sequel. There's no spillover, really. We saw that Linda Carter sort of cameo at the end, but that wasn't anything to write home about, really, of WW84. So some big things to come. I think those two movies, watch them. Give us your thoughts. I think The Flash is going to be a big movie. I know Ezra Miller is going through God knows what right now. He's doing all kinds of funny things out there to the public, and he's really tarnishing his reputation and his career as we go along. But be that as it may, I think the DCU it's basically DC Comics. You can have multiple versions of the same character and it could still make sense. I think we've proven that now with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland gracing the screen with their rendition in as Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. And yeah, I think you could potentially have another version of The Flash. You could even have you can have another Barry Allen from another universe. You can have a different Flash from a different time period. You can have a Wally West version as well. There's nothing really stopping the DCEU. When I say DCEU, I mean the director of that respective movie to really consider that as an option. I think it's a good opportunity for the producers within the DCEU to think outside the box, look at other avenues, look at other characters that could make sense, that could adapt very well in in the cinematic universe, as it were. I would love personally. I would love to see two movies. The Reign of the Supermen in a live action format. A lot of people don't like it when I say that sometimes, but I've always been a fan of the Eradicator. I've liked John Henry's Steel. I think those characters have been significant, and I've also enjoyed, and it's probably my favorite DCE comic graphic novel ever, which is Kingdom Come, and I think that's going to be the next evolution. At some point, we may see they may take some adaptations from Zack Snyder's storylines, have a situation where Lois Lane dies, and then they obviously will battle among each other again, kind of like a Marvel Civil War except better. And Apocalypse, the whole crew will come, Darkseid, and all of those guys will come to Earth and start destroying and ravaging the environment. And then I think from there, what will happen is that the timeline will reset in some way, shape, or form, ending up becoming kind of like a Kingdom Come Return, where you would find an aged Superman and an aged Wonder Woman getting together, having a little super baby of their own. Oh, very cool. Because let's face it, even if Lois Lane does stand the test of time, she's not going to be able... She's not strong enough to conceive a child with Superman. I think there's other versions which they've seen that. But it's more likely that Wonder Woman and Superman can get it together and, form a super baby of their own, and that could be interesting. I don't know. Let's wait and see. I think there's so much scope for DC to actually have a decent universe. It really is up there for them for the taking. I just think they just had some really bad scripts, some misfortunes along the way, as we know with Zack Snyder's family. And that's obviously compromised the quality of the product at the end of the day. There's so much potential, so much room for growth and improvement. I can't wait to see what Black Adam, The Flash, and Aquaman bring to the table, because I think that's going to be a major, major focal and turning point for the franchise. What do you think? Would love to hear from you. Take care. Bye.